Tolu, I mean, 25 and 11 back here. How you doing?
Oh, what's up, dog?
25 and 11, dominating in the post. I mean, what were you kind of seeing from Vanderbilt today that allowed you to really, go to work on them, I guess?
I think the coaching staff and my team did a great job of giving me and Jimmy the ball. We knew it was mismatches down low. I feel like most nights it's going to be a mismatch, regardless of how big, how tall. We put a lot of work in on the low block and a lot of work in just in our game in general. So the results showed tonight.
We'll go to Steph to the players left, and then we'll stay on the front row. We'll go Justin and Paul down the line.
Jimmy, for y'all, I mean, Tolu had 26 the other day, 25 tonight. To get him back and get him, in a groove like this, what's it been like watching him kind of come back from the injury?
I mean, it's been feeling good. I started off the year without him. That was the expectation that me and him playing together in the beginning, but now he back and, we rotate and beating up on the other team big, so it feels good for sure.
Tolu, what have you just seen confidence-wise from Trey Ford? Obviously, at the beginning of the year, he had the start against Arizona State, and then saw his minutes decrease a little bit, and now it just seems more and more he's getting more back comfortable into the rotation just with himself.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't know Trey, I mean, he's a flamethrower. He gets out there a lot in any time, and I hang out with him a lot, and I get to see that firsthand of how great he can shoot the ball and just score the ball. He's an offensive threat, and people have to come out and guard him. He's a asset we need on the court all the time. So.
Tolu's second half, you guys kind of got sloppy a little bit, and they cut the lead down, I think, to 10 a couple times. I'm sure Coach Jans had some words about that second half. What do you think caused that lull today?
I mean, basketball is a game of runs. I mean, it's not going to be perfect every night. And Mississippi State basketball not pretty. We some grimy players. We get down, we get nasty. But I think the main thing that Coach Jans was emphasizing is that we've been here before. We've been here many times, and we just got to fight back, and that's what we did.
Go second row middle to Robbie. Go ahead.
Jimmy, obviously you came into this situation knowing you were going to be playing with Tolu this year and one of the top bigs returning. You took over that spot with him out, and now you're back playing with him again. What's that dynamic been like for you this year, going from starter back to just playing your role and doing what you need the team to do?
I mean, it's been good for me. I mean, that's what I came here for, to do my role. And like I said, starting off, I just had a bigger role in the beginning, and now I'm back to where the expectation was, and now it's time to just get rolling the rest of these games, win some games, and continue to be down on the bigs. Me and Tolu.
We'll go back to the cameras again, and John in the black shirt.
Tolu, how did it kind of feel for y'all to kind of get back on track after the Alabama and Kentucky games?
Man, it feels great. It feels great to win. That's what we needed. This was a must-win for us. I think there's no pushovers in the SEC. From the highest to the lowest, so we needed this win, and I'm glad we got it.
Go to the players right, and Danny P. will get a couple more in.
Jimmy, let's talk about the defensive effort today, because Vandy's usually a team that shoots pretty well. Y'all kind of frustrated them today.
Well, I mean, Coach been honest about defense. I mean, really since we started SEC, and we had a few games. The Kentucky game they scored 90. Alabama they scored a lot of points. So our goal is just to keep teams under really 50, 60 points. I think we did a good job today, so we just got to keep that up and sustain it.
We'll stay front row middle. We'll go Paul, and then we'll go to the other side with Ben
Totally,
and
not just in
Robbie.
the games, but what have you seen from Trey over the last couple of weeks? Obviously, his minutes have increased and his production has increased. What have you seen from him in practice and in games?
Just buy-in with us, having him believe in us and believe in the coaching staff. And I mean, everybody on the team, everybody in Hail State basketball knows that he can shoot the lights out. So it's just him buying in for us, and he's been doing a great job with that.
Tolu, I know it wasn't the best night for you at the free throw line, but in the last couple of minutes there, they seemed to kind of use that as a tactic to try to get you there. And I think you made 5 of your last 6. Just how big was that for you to kind of shift your mentality and kind of knock those down in crunch time?
So the old me would have just been like, dang, I'm missing. But I think the new me is just the next man up, or next shot up, and I had that mentality, just got to make the next shot. And I think the next one's going in. So,
go ahead, Ben.
Jimmy, you had, I think, 7 rebounds in just 8 minutes there in the first half. Was that just sort of a byproduct of Vandy just sort of missing some of those 3-pointers, or what allowed you to sort of gain good positioning against them?
I think it was a little bit of both. I just try to use my size and my ability the best way I can, and I mean, the ball kind of bounced my way. I had a good position, and I was able to snatch him out and grab him. So.
Last two, David, and then Robbie to wrap us up.
Tolu, I think you finished something like 99 career points against Vanderbilt. What makes it so good for you playing against those Vanderbilt teams, whatever kind of defense or personnel they have?
I have no idea. I mean, I don't know. I just go out and play every night. I think Coach Stackhouse is a phenomenal coach. We had some words after the game, and I'm a big fan of his. So.
All right, Robbie, wrap us up.
Kind of what we were talking about with Jimmy earlier. I mean, the dynamic with him and, where you are right now, but also your thoughts on what he provided for this team whenever you were out, that first part of the schedule, and how he kind of helped keep you all afloat in the post.
So much. He provided so. He got us a lot of wins. I mean, without those wins, we wouldn't even be looking in March. So I think I congratulate Jimmy. I'm always with him, and we always talk about what we're going to do when I'm back and the things that we want to achieve. So we're just going to keep striving.
All right, thank you guys. We'll have Coach here in a second.
Coach, I guess just your thoughts on you guys went on that 23-5 run and late first half and kind of grab it pretty quick control, and then it was kind of sloppy, I guess, on both ends in the second half. Just your thoughts on getting back on winning track.
Yeah, happy we won. Was looking forward to being back in the hump and playing a home game after our last outing here. We had a chance to play really well. There for a while, I thought we were really humming on both ends of the floor. We were sharing the basketball. We were playing a style that, we've been trying to do lately, trying to play inside out, get a bunch of paint touches, try to get to the line, and we were doing it. The defense was pretty locked in from the jump. Unfortunately, there in the second half, it started sputtering on the offensive end. Miss a free throw here, miss a finish. Changes the vibe in the room, and it gets in our heads a little bit, and they took advantage of it. They jumped on it and got back in the game, and then in the end, we were able to make enough plays to get the win.
Go ahead, Danny P.
Coach, you talked about the defense. It held a really good Vanderbilt team to 55 points, and they're usually pretty good at three-point shooting team. Held them to 23% from out there. Just talk more about the defense and how y'all were able to slow them down.
Well, as you follow us, we weren't real happy with our last two defensive outings with not just the raw number of the kind of points we were giving up, but just our breakdowns. We just weren't guarding the ball as effectively. Our rotations weren't on point, and it's been a problem for us. We keep telling our guys if we're going to lose, fine, right? But it can't be because our defense isn't up to snuff, and it can't be because we're not rebounding at a high level, because that's how this team is constructed, and it's how we practice, it's how we talk about playing, and we have to have that each and every night for us to be successful.
We'll go to Coach's left, we'll go to Steph, and then we'll go to Justin.
It wasn't the best shooting night for him, but it seemed like Shaq was pretty aggressive on both ends for y'all, and especially with Rams, battling some foul trouble there. What did you think of the way he played and stepped up in that guard spot?
Yeah, I really like where he's at. He's got a great focus right now. His practice mindset's been really good. I envision him, to continue to play well. He had a couple awkward, if you will, situations in the first half where he got the ball, and one time he thought it was going to be a lob and it wasn't, and he kind of got caught in between steps there and had an awkward finish, and another one where he drove it right and probably should have used his right hand. He used his left and it got blocked, and he's usually a pretty good finisher, and he's obviously very dynamic, but he's just really locked into what we're trying to do and how we're trying to play, and I like where he's at, and I've shared that with him and the team. We've got to get more guys, on that same page that he is, and hopefully he'll continue it.
Tolu had talked about just how Trey Ford has bought in throughout the year, and just how important is that from a player like him whose role has changed, so much since the start of the season?
Yeah, it's very obvious, right? He can score the ball. That's what they keep track of. That's what, either you win or lose because of the scoreboard. All the other stuff is, we focus on and pay a lot of attention to. But at the end, someone that can move the scoreboard in the right direction, has value. And I think anyone that's really watched this closely can see that he can do that. And he's done that on occasions, and he did it today a little bit. He just got to continue in the other facets of the game, being strong with the ball and, having some tension in your body on defense at all times, being assignment correct, and, just playing with that that verve that, we were trying to play with. And coming in, that really wasn't his deal, and we knew that, and we thought because he's such a great kid and he's got a good work ethic that, we could get him on the right page pretty quickly. And it usually takes some time. It usually takes some time. I don't care how old you are. When it's new for you, regardless if you're a four-year transfer or a junior college transfer or a high school kid, it takes some time. But he's getting it. He's getting it, and it would be a big shot in the arm for us if he can continue to have positive minutes for us.
We'll go back to the cameras and John, and then we'll duck down to the second row and Robbie.
Chris Tolu, 25 and 11. What did you see from him today that was, so special? And how nice is it knowing that, when you have a guy like that that's so gifted by the rim, in the post in a one-on-one matchup, that it usually kind of works in his favor? How much of an advantage is that for you guys?
Yeah, he got Lubin in foul trouble in the first half, and so he was going against the backup, and that was helpful for Tolu, and he had a nice game on the stat sheet. He should have had 30 and 15, right? He had opportunities at the free throw line. He had opportunities to grab more rebounds if he would, quit flagging them down with one hand and grab them with two, and the way we work together and the way we are, like he knows that's what I'm going to say, because I got high expectations for him, and but we go through him and Jimmy both. Jimmy has had his moments as well, and but it's certainly a luxury to have a guy like that. We can throw it inside, and if they're playing one-on-one, you're pretty good shot that he's going to get a good look or a foul, and if they want to double him, then we can get into rotations and get some people in closeouts.
Coach, you talked about Jimmy a little bit, and he signed up for this, just doing what the team needed him to do. But going from that role of kind of filling in for Tolu and providing those minutes to now, again, doing what you need him to do off the bench, just how valuable of a piece has he been this year to have a guy like that can come in and spell Tolu like that?
Yeah, I'm on record multiple times saying I'm not sure where we'd be if we didn't have Jimmy Bell. Certainly you can't plan for any sort of injuries, etc. But I just don't know where we'd been. I don't know where our team would be, what our record would be. He was a godsend for us, and I knew once Tolu got back that there would be no issue with him. He's all business. He's a great kid. He gets it, and he was very productive today. He had 7 rebounds and 4 points in 10 minutes. That's some quality production, and he's going to have big games. He's going to have big games. We all know it. He knows it. And so we're really glad he's with us.
Go down front row to coaches right. We'll go to Tanner, then we'll back to Paul.
Coach, you talked a little bit about Trey. He starts off the season red hot and then kind of hits a cold spell. What was it like from your perspective, kind of seeing him go through that and then now come out on the other side of it and he's providing some good minutes?
Yeah, it was almost a curse that he made the shots that he did that first game, because it's natural for all of us as humans to expect him to do that all the time. And that would be hard. That's a tough standard that he set his first game out, as a Bulldog, and he made, I think, 5 or 6 threes, and he looked good doing it. And then, like you said, he struggled a little bit. He struggled a little bit, and then his role changed, obviously, and certainly it's not something that he probably thought was going to happen. But like you said, he stuck with it. He's leaned on some unbelievable teammates that have been there for him. I watch those guys encourage him in practice, and even if I'm, on him about something, they're coming behind me and slapping him and telling him to stick with it and, buy in. And he's been doing it. He's been doing it, and his minutes hopefully will continue to go up if he continues to do the things that we need him to do.
Obviously, we've seen Rams make plays in this league and defend and be productive offensively. You feel like it's more of a mental thing with him these last few games than anything?
As you well know, I don't like to talk to my players. I'm not sure where that's at. He's not playing as well as he's capable of. He's not being as productive as he wants to be, as we expect him to be. Hopefully he'll get better. Hopefully, he'll play better. Hopefully he'll get his confidence back, even if it is shook a little bit. I don't know. Tonight was a little different, with the foul issues. You got 2 right away, and that's hard. When you start every game and you know the spots you're going to be in the game for the most part, and then they're not there, and you got to sit over there like that when you're not used to that. That's difficult. And then he came out in the first possession or two, got his 3rd foul, and had to sit again. And it was a tough situation for him. And But we believe in him. We trust in him. He's been with us, since we've arrived, and I think he'll get back going here real soon.
We'll go back to coaches left with Steph and then Ben.
Tolu, I know you mentioned the free throw struggles. He ends up making 5 of 6 there at the end when they kind of started to, send him to the line. And he had said that the old Tolu probably wouldn't have been able to do that. What did you think of the way he flushed some of those struggles and was able to make some down the stretch?
It made me very happy. When they went to the, I don't know what they call it, the Hackatolu. I don't know how that went, but there was, in my mind, I'm going, okay, before they changed it to the flagrant one, they got 2 more opportunities to do this, right? That was the 7th team foul. They have 8 and 9 in the bonus. And in my mind, in talking with the coaches, I'm like, hey man, if he misses this front end, we're going to have to get him out of the game because they're going to do it twice in a row, and we can't be in that position. And once they, went to the flagrant, I'm like, okay, we're just going to have to not throw him the ball until we're trying to get it in there and score late, So we kind of try to watch what we were running, toward the end of the game to, put our players in the best position. But I'm really happy for him. I'm happy for him, and you're probably right. I can't speak for him, but you're probably right. And hopefully that will really make him feel better going forward, because he had gotten off to such a good start when he got returned to play, and his free throw percentage was probably kind of like the Trey Fort deal. It's like, I don't think he can sustain that, but it was certainly a nice way to start, and I think he'll continue to work at it like he always does.
We've got time for a couple more. Raise your hands if you got them again to coaches left with Ben.
Yeah, DJ Jeffrey seems like he's really settling into his role lately here. It was a plus 23 in this game. Yeah, it seems like he's obviously still playing good defense, picking the right shots. What have you seen from him here of late?
He's a big key for us. He's just got great flexibility defensively. He can guard 1 through 4, so it gives us a lot of choices when it comes to that end of the floor. And, we're just trying to get him to continue to play north and south. He's best when he's straight line driving people, not playing across the court, being careful with, the use of the dribble and being aggressive with it. And most of the time, the last, at least in the SEC play, he's been doing that. And it really helps us. He's got to get on the offensive glass more consistently. He's always been a good defensive rebounder for us. And that shot he made in the corner, that was a big shot. That kind of, stopped their momentum and vibe. And the best thing about that particular shot was that I loved that we shared the ball and got it to the open guy, and, he knocked it down. But he's a big key for us. He plays a lot of minutes for us. He's kind of our Swiss Army knife along with Cam Matthews. And if he starts, making open threes, then it becomes a lot more dangerous.